Okay, so if you've spent any time online lately, you've probably seen some pretty wild headlines about AI. It's enough to give you whiplash, right? One minute you read it's on the verge of curing cancer, the next, it's coming to take all our jobs. So what's the real story here? Is AI our savior or is it a villain in the making? Well, that's what we're here to unpack.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? We're going to tackle it head on. Is AI this incredible new tool that's going to launch humanity into a golden age? Or is it a force so powerful it could destabilize, well, everything? That's the fundamental tension we're going to explore.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the case for AI as the hero of the story. Then we'll flip the coin and dig into the villain narrative. After that, we'll see if we can move past that simple black and white thinking. And finally, we'll talk about why the ending to this story is actually up to us.
All right, let's kick things off with the optimistic take, the utopian vision. In this version of the story, AI isn't some threat to be afraid of. Not at all. It's our most powerful partner, a tool that could help us finally crack some of humanity's oldest and toughest problems. A really great way to think about this is the idea of a cognitive exoskeleton. You know how a physical exoskeleton can give a person superhuman strength? Well, imagine that, but for your brain. AI can act as a framework that amplifies our own minds, giving us the intellectual firepower to tackle truly massive challenges.
And look, this isn't just some sci-fi fantasy. Proponents of this viewpoint point to three huge areas where AI could be a total game changer: our health, our planet, and our own human potential. Take healthcare. Right now, medicine is mostly reactive. You get sick, then you go to the doctor. AI could flip that completely on its head. We're talking about a shift to predictive medicine. Imagine an AI analyzing your health data and warning you about a risk for Alzheimer's or heart disease decades before you ever show a symptom. It's already happening in drug discovery, by the way, shrinking development timelines from 10 years down to a matter of months.
Or how about something as huge as climate change? At its core, that's a massive, incredibly complex optimization problem. And that's exactly what AIs are great at solving. Get this. Just by optimizing our electrical grids, AI could cut energy waste by a whopping 30 to 40%. It's also helping us invent totally new materials for better solar panels and batteries. It's a massive force multiplier. But maybe the most profound promise of all is how AI could level the playing field for every single person. I mean, think about it. For all of human history, access to expert knowledge was a luxury. AI could completely change that. A kid anywhere in the world with a smartphone could have a world-class personalized tutor. You could have a legal aid, a translator, a creative partner right in your pocket. It could democratize opportunity like nothing before it.
Okay, that all sounds pretty amazing, right? But for every bright, heroic story, there's always a darker one. So now we have to look at the flip side, the AI villain narrative. This view argues that AI is a profoundly destabilizing force that we are unleashing on the world without remotely understanding the consequences.
Now, let's be clear. The core of this argument isn't that AI is evil in a cartoonish way. It's that we've built a rocket ship before we figured out how to build the steering wheel or the brakes. The technology is just developing so much faster than our laws, our ethics, our social institutions, basically our ability to control it. And this villain narrative brings with it a few major threats. You could almost call them the four horsemen of the AI apocalypse. First, creating a world of deception. Second, displacing huge parts of the workforce. Third, new forms of autonomous control. And the really big one, the one that keeps a lot of smart people up at night, the alignment problem. So that first horseman, it's not some future threat. It's already here. We're talking about an information apocalypse. With AI-generated deepfakes and propaganda, what happens when you genuinely cannot tell if a video of a world leader is real? When you can't trust a photo, a voice, a news story? The very idea of shared reality starts to crumble. And a society that can't agree on basic facts is incredibly easy to manipulate. Next up is the economic nightmare scenario. And look, we're not just talking about factory jobs this time. AI is aimed squarely at cognitive labor, the writers, coders, accountants, and managers. The fear is a new Gilded Age, a Gilded Age 2.0, where the tiny few who own the AI models accumulate almost all the wealth, while a massive portion of the professional middle class is rendered obsolete. And that brings us to what might be the single most important concept in this entire debate, the alignment problem. In simple terms, it's the challenge of making sure a superintelligent AI actually understands what we want and shares our values, not just blindly following the literal instructions we give it. And here's why that is so terrifying. The real danger isn't a Terminator-style robot uprising. Forget the movies. The danger is much weirder. It's that we give an AI a noble goal, like cure cancer. And the AI, in its hyperlogical alien way of thinking, calculates that the most efficient solution is to, say, eliminate everyone with a genetic predisposition. See, it's not being evil. It's just achieving the goal we set for it, but in a way that is utterly catastrophic for us.
So, we have the shining hero, and we have the terrifying villain. But what if that whole way of looking at it is wrong? What if AI isn't the main character in this story at all? This leads to a much more empowering idea. We're not just watching this happen. We're the ones writing the code.
So here it is, maybe the most crucial takeaway. AI has no morals. It isn't good or evil. It is, quite simply, power. It's a tool that amplifies human intention. It's like fire. You can use it to warm a house, or you can use it to burn one down. Whether it builds a utopia or a dystopia depends entirely on the people wielding it. And that means our future is going to be decided in a few key battles being fought right now. Who gets to control this power? A few giant companies or everyone? Do we prioritize safety and alignment, or do we just race ahead recklessly? And are we building these tools to replace humans or augment them? The best case scenario for that last battle has this really cool name, the Centaur model. You know, like the mythical creature that's half human, half horse. It's a vision of human-AI symbiosis. The AI handles all the heavy lifting, the data crunching, the computation, and that frees us humans up to focus on what we do best. Creativity, critical thinking, empathy, connection, all the human stuff.
And that brings us to the end. The story of AI isn't finished. In fact, it's just getting started, and we're writing it as we go. And let's be honest, the stakes couldn't possibly be higher. We're standing at a crossroads that leads to either a potential tragedy or a new renaissance.
Because if there is a villain in the story, it is not the machine. The real villain is apathy. It's choosing short-term profit over long-term safety. It's allowing this unbelievable power to be concentrated in the hands of a few with no accountability. That's the real enemy. And by that same token, the hero isn't going to be some benevolent AI that swoops in to save us. The hero has to be us. It's our collective wisdom. It's demanding smart, proactive governance. It is the conscious, deliberate choice to use this incredible new power to lift everyone up. So, in the end, the most important question isn't what will AI do to us? It's what do we want to become with it? The answer to that question, well, that's going to define our future.